Hey guys, this is just going to be a really quick video, hopefully, with my top 10 must-haves for nursing classes or gen eds before you get into that clinical setting, the foundation, laying the foundation. Please bear with me because I'm starting to get a sinus cold. I think it was just stress from finals and they're finally over. Which I'll kind of do a little update. I did really well on my finals, found out. I had Intro to Critical Thinking this past quarter, and that did not have a final, but I did get an A in the class. I got like a 98 something. I don't remember what the point was. And in my Structure and Function class, I got a 93.8 on the final and came out with an A in the class. And my microbiome, I got a 92 on my final and came out with an A in the class as well. I did better than I was kind of anticipating for the microbiome. I was a little nervous with that just because the day before I think I was psyching myself out and I kept getting all the genus species names mixed up and I was just so overwhelmed and stressing myself out and putting more stress on myself than I really needed to. But I did well, and I will definitely take a 92 in microbiome on a final. That was really good for cumulative, and I think it was like 50 questions. So I'm proud. I'm so happy with what I got. Kept my 4.0 GPA. Really worked. I would recommend you looking at that study tips video I made recently for finals, studying for finals. That's really what I did to study for finals. I looked over, I reread some of the readings that throughout the quarter I was kind of iffy on or weren't totally clear. I went back and reread those readings. I read through all my notes. I made flashcards on topics that I wasn't 100% on, and I wanted to get better at and just get them down really well. But other than that, I just went through read the objectives in the book, answered questions in the end of the chapters and stuff like that. Even for Structure and Function, I did the same, and it really worked for me. I was pretty well going into the exam, pretty well prepared, and my kind of philosophy going into an exam and coming out of it is, I went in and I'm going in prepared and doing my best that I can, and that's all I can do. As long as I do everything I can, then the grade is going to be really good because I know that no matter what it is, I did the best I could do, and I took the time and did everything. So, back to today's video, the top 10 things that I really found helpful for nursing school, for my gen ed classes, and for the prereqs you have to take. Things that I think will help you stay organized, keeping a clear, semester, and just alleviating stress, hopefully, because it worked for me. And the first thing I recommend you getting, I did this. It was kind of a steep purchase. It was a printer. I bought a printer, brand new printer. It's an HP 3632. That's the number. I got it at Walmart. It was like 68 bucks, I think, if I remember correctly. But I use it so much. It's come in so handy. I used it all quarter. You don't have to change the ink cartridges very frequently, but it scans, copies, prints. It's wireless, connects wireless, so I can print things from my phone or from my computer or whatever. I just use it for printing off my own notes that I take during class, printing off PowerPoints or outlines that the teacher has, or certain labs or whatever. I just definitely would recommend getting something or having some kind of access, because being able to print stuff off like that and having a hard copy to look at just makes life so much easier. So that's the first thing, and kind of going with that, I have an app that I use that I definitely recommend. It's called Scannable, and it's free on the App Store, but it's this one right here. And it's just really neat because when you open it up, you can take a piece of paper, say, here, I got this for my fundamentals class. So say I want to take this paper and send it to someone, or I want to take this paper, you know, that we have in a group that someone's turning in, but I want a copy of it, and say, you know, you filled out information on it, but you're turning it in, and you want to have that to study or look at, and you might not get it back in time. With this app, you just hold it up, and I'll do it for you here. You just hold up the paper, so I'm going to put it down on the ground, and you line this up to the paper, the document, and it will kind of pull it out like that, and you can save it onto your phone as a PDF and email it to yourself. So like I'll email it to my own email account, or I'll save it as a picture on my phone and then email it to me, and you can later print it out, and it prints out or sends to your computer as a PDF. So then you have a hard copy of that piece of paper. It comes out really clear, just like a piece of paper you were to print. I definitely recommend that. That came in so handy for group assignments where someone would take something, I'm like, I want a copy of that, but there's no way we can copy it, or I'm not home to use my copier. It just came in really handy. Let's see, the second thing, I'll mention this. I use dry shampoo. I love it. Comes in so handy. This is just Dove Hair Therapy Refresh and Care Invigorating Dry Shampoo. I would definitely recommend getting it. It helps if you take a shower at night or in the afternoon and then you have to get up super early for classes. I have to drive anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour depending on which campus I'm meeting or which facility. It just gives me 20 to 30 minutes extra sleep in the morning if I take my shower at night and don't have to take it in the morning. I just use this, and it's really nice. You just shake it and spray it, and then work it in. You can't see, actually I used it this morning. Your hair doesn't look oily, it doesn't look, it works really well. And it saved me, giving me lots of time to sleep, and in nursing school, any sleep you can get, you realize is great because you value and cherish the time that you get to sleep. The next thing I'm going to mention is gum. I like gum. You don't necessarily have to chew gum. This is just something that I and my teachers as well, even back in high school, my teachers, I remember them mentioning, but chewing gum when you're studying, and I did this for finals too. Not saying that that's what helped, but can't hurt. But chewing gum or mints or something while you're studying has been proven to help you retain information and remember it. So usually when I'm studying something for an exam, I'll stick a piece of gum in, like the big red. They're the long strips. I'll cut them in half, or rip them in half and just put half in. But chewing it while you're studying, and then when you're taking the exam or quiz, chewing it as well, it just helps retaining information and remembering information that you've gone over. So that's one thing that I like. Pens. I have colored pens galore. I have different kinds, like fine point pens and then like pen pens. But I use these. They're great for color coding, great for kind of spicing up your notes, making it a little entertaining, making it a little fun, as well as highlighters. Highlighters are another thing that I would definitely recommend for highlighting information in textbooks or your notes using, I have like codes, and so a different highlighter might be vocab or medicines or values I need to know, just depending on the class or you know what, but definitely recommend highlighters. They can come in very helpful for organizing information, highlighting information, being able to pick information out very quickly, and not having to go back and read the whole chapter in order to find where was that value I was looking for. I knew it was important. So that's good. Whiteout. I love this little thing. I use it all the time when I write in pens. I just have this thing, like, writing in pencil is kind of, I'm always afraid it'll erase, or over time it'll fade and I won't be able to see it when I go back and look, or it'll get rubbed off. So I write in pen, and so whiteout is definitely a saving grace. So many people are like, hey Jessica, can I use your whiteout in classes, because they know I have it. But this is nice because it kind of just makes a line on the paper and you can write over it, whereas like the other kinds of whiteout you get where they come in the bottle, they are liquidy and then you gotta wait for them to dry, whereas this is kind of just like, whoop, it puts a little white strip and then you can write on the white strip, so you can write over, so then you don't have like words everywhere, whatever. It just kind of helps keep you paper organized and neat, and fixes those little mistakes you make so you don't have scribbles everywhere. So this is one of my must-haves for nursing school as well. I also would recommend, and I've mentioned this before, a planner. Getting a good planner, a planner that works. One that has lots of room to write. You're going to need lots of room to write all your assignments and things that are going on, and activities and organizational meetings or whatever. You're going to need it to write it down and keep you organized. Definitely a must-have. Kind of going off of that, paper. I use this kind of paper. You can get it at Walmart, Office Depot, Office Max, whatever. Or spiral-bound notebooks. I just like this because it's flip. It was cheap. I got it on sale. And I can just keep going, keep everything in one place. And it fits in my book bag. It also fits in with my folders, which I'd also recommend folders to help keep you organized. This is just a 3-ring one that I've had, and a plain white folder. Folders help keep organized. I don't use binders for classes because I don't print out information a lot. I do print some things off, but I don't print off every single PowerPoint, just because usually it's taken directly out of the book and I read the books, I take notes, and so on the off chance the teacher passes something out in class or I print something off for labs or whatever, I just stick it in here and it's all in one place, and I have this and whatever I'm using to write down, paper or spiral notebook, and that's what I take to class, as well as whatever book I'll need. It just is one less thing than having a binder. It's not so bulky, it's not, taking up a lot of space. Another thing that I would mention is if you don't necessarily want a bunch of folders, if you're taking several classes. So far I've only been taking, my max was 3 classes at a time. And I did use this for a time. I probably will get back into this, especially as I'm heading into clinicals this quarter, and just keeping everything organized and I'll be at campus a lot, is a expandable folder. It like expands out to keep your papers in. There's lots of little tabs, so you can mark off what you want the tabs to be, psychology or pharmacology lab, fundamentals, intro, whatever. But it's a great way to keep you organized. It keeps all of them together rather than having folders that you're chasing after or trying to find. So I would recommend that as well if you maybe don't want a folder, or maybe using both of them. I liked this because I was able to keep everything in here. It expanded with these little straps. They came apart, and then I was able to hold not just my paperwork in there, but also the notepads for each class I was able to put in, and then I carried it around with my pens and highlighters, which I'd also recommend a pencil pouch. You can get these almost anywhere. It doesn't even have to be specifically for pencils. It could be just a random bag that you find. But this is my pencil pouch that I keep my pens and highlighters and whiteout in that I carry to class. And I as well will keep, usually a little pack of gum in there for during classes. But if you do that, I recommend you not be chomping away very noticeably in class because it's just not professional. But that's really all I have. Those are my top 10, must-haves: gum, pens and pencils, or whatever you prefer. I prefer pens, highlighters, your pencil pouch, some kind of folder or organizational, system to keep all your papers in, whiteout, dry shampoo, that Scannable app. It's free. You can download it, and then if you don't end up using it, delete it off your phone, and when you need it, put it back on. It's really fast. It comes in handy sometimes when you don't even think about it. You're like, oh, I have that app. It'd make it so much easier. Planner. That's like my #1 must-have. If anything, I would definitely tell you to have a planner to keep yourself organized. And if it's big enough, you can throw little loose papers in there until you get home and put them in some kind of other organization system. Color code it, mark it up, That's my #1, I would say you must have a planner. It will make your life so much easier and keep you organized all semester if you use it. So that's just this very quick video of my top 10 must-haves and a little update on life. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys soon, hopefully. Don't forget to thumbs up or like this video, and leave any comments below on what you'd like to see, any videos, suggestions you have, questions or comments you have for me, and I will be sure to answer those for you. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.